Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. You've been asked to provide a proposal from a prospective client. Great, but how are you going to make it stand out and make it compelling enough to win the business? Nicole Ashby is founder of Mentoring to Success, and she swears by the $1 million proposal, a concept devised by consultant and best-selling author Alan Weiss, which he explains in his book, $1 Million Consulting Proposals, How to Write a Proposal That's Accepted Every Time. Well, almost every time, Nicole says. She's found it invaluable for herself and her clients. So what do businesses often get wrong with their proposals? Nicole's explaining to Chris Ashmore.
Businesses tend to focus on themselves, which is fair enough. As business owners, we think our business is fantastic and we want to tell people how great our business is. Very normal thing to do, but from the perspective of a potential customer or client, they're not so interested in our business and our credentials and what awards we've won and what certificates we have and how long we've been in business, particularly if you've already had an initial discovery meeting with them. What they want to know is, do you understand them? Do you understand the problems, where they're at with their business, and that you can offer a solution? So quite often businesses put too much detail into their own business, and that's not what potential clients and customers want to know. They want to know that you understand their business, their problems, and that you can demonstrate that you've got a solution for them.
Right. So what can make an effective proposal?
An effective proposal consists of having a really good template and demonstrating that you understand the problems. So basically, if you're having that initial discovery meeting with a potential new client, it's really important to go in there and ask questions of that client around what's important to them, what are the issues that they're facing, what do they need assistance with, what outcomes, what objectives are they looking for. And then when you're putting your proposal together, it's really important to basically throw back or put those words into the proposal. So when they're reading that proposal, they go, yes, this is fantastic. You understand me, you understand the business. So while we want to write about ourselves, the client wants to read about themselves. And that's really got to do with the original and reptilian part of our brain that's very me-centered and me-focused. So that's what we need to focus on to grab their attention and to show that we really understand what they want.
Right. Well, one example of a proposal that you're a raving fan of is the $1 million proposal.
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah. The $1 million proposal, it comes from a book called $1 Million Consulting Proposals by Alan Weiss. And my mentor put me onto this book probably about 5 years ago. So I read the book, went through, pulled out all the key headings from what should be put into a proposal and started using that. So in the proposals that I put towards clients, there is nothing in there about my business, how long I've been in business, what awards I've won, achievements, anything like that. There's nothing really about my business because, remember, we've had that first initial meeting, so they get a bit of an understanding about what I can offer. And then it's really about tailoring that proposal under the different sections, breaks it down really nicely. And it's only about 2 pages. So it's really quite short, succinct. But for the person that you're pitching to, it just shows them that, okay, yep, you're going through all the points, you understand everything that I need. And it makes it really easy for them to come to the decision that, yes, they do want to do work with you.
So what does the template look like?
It's basically put together around 9 points or 9 headings that you would put around sort of 2 to 2.5 pages. So the topics are situation appraisal. That's what you start with. So you basically outline where the client is at. Then you have the objective. So that's the outcomes that are expected, and you can have tangible and intangible outcomes there. The next heading is value. So that's around the value of achieving the said objectives. The next heading is metrics. So evaluating success in the eyes of the client. So again, what's important to them? What does success look like for them? Timing. So the start date, the end date, very straightforward. Any deliverables along the way. The next point is accountabilities. So that's accountabilities for both parties. So that's really important. So that might be around emails being replied to within 24 or 48 hours and only being contacted, during business hours. So you can be as specific as you want with that, and that can also help protect you and what your accountabilities are. And also putting the accountabilities back on them, I think, is really important, and including, the nature of the collaboration. Credentials. Now, you can put this in if you want. You don't have to. I generally don't put in credentials, but this is optional. So if you wanted to put in a little bit about your business and, some of your awards or things like that, that's where you can put them in if you feel that you'd like to, but I don't do that. 8 is terms and conditions. So that includes fees, other terms and conditions, contact hours, turnaround times, inclusions, exclusions, things like that. And then we have the acceptance, which is the signature. And then you would put your price in there as well around the terms and conditions. So, yeah, very straightforward, just 9 points.
So what kind of businesses can use this proposal?
Businesses that are offering services but also products. So typically for me, I offer services to other businesses. So for me, it's a service proposal, but you could actually do it if you have products as well.
And you've had success with it?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I love telling people about it because my success rate is probably around 90%.
Wow.
Yeah, it really, really works. It really works. I want everybody to know about it because it makes it so much easier to pitch your services for potential new business because it's a really simple template to follow. It's basically copy and paste and putting in those bits of information about the business that you're pitching to so that they read it and go, oh, yep, they understand what I want and what I need. So it's super, super simple, doesn't take too long, and the success rate is fantastic.
Well, do you have an example of how this kind of proposal was used and garnered good results?
Yeah. So there's a local commercial cleaning company that I've been doing a bit of work with over the years, and we were having a discussion about what we could do in terms of working together. And I said to them, what does your proposal look like? How long is it? And they said, oh, it's probably about 12 pages. I was like, 12 pages, that is a lot. That's a lot of information for a business to read through. So if you're a business that needs commercial cleaning, like you might be a car yard, you might be a secondary school and a, event space, to sit down and go through 12 pages of information, it's too much to ask of somebody. It's not respecting their time. So I took this commercial cleaning proposal that was 12 pages and I condensed it right back to 2.
Right.
And based it around the template and used, the different headings. And I then went and had a little training session with the guys that run this commercial cleaning business and just said, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we're focused on. When you're doing that initial discovery, it's really about understanding what's important to the client and what their needs are to be met around cleaning. What are the areas that need to be cleaned, understanding the objectives that they're after. So I wrote the proposal. It was a mock one, but I said, this is all you need. You just want to cut and paste the information about businesses and pop that in there. And it was about 2 weeks ago, my contact there, Seb, he rang me and he said, Nicole, look, I just wanted to give you some feedback. We've pitched with that new proposal 3 times. There was an event space, a big local secondary college, and another business. I think it might have been a car business. And he said, we've got them all.
Oh, wow.
We've got a 3 out of 3. 100% success rate. And I was so excited. I was literally so excited because their hit rate of success with their previous 12-page model that they would just churn out, and the only thing they would really change would be the business headline and the price at the end, was probably about sort of 50%. So to go from a 50% success rate to 100 for them is brilliant, and that's meaning, 6-figure contracts
Fantastic.
coming into their bank. So, yeah, it's great. And they're happy. And one of the guys was quite hesitant to start. He wasn't really sure. He's like, I don't know if this is going to work. But, yeah, they're doing it and it's working. So it's fantastic.
Terrific. And so you say copy and paste from something, but it's not templated really. It's tailored to each client that they're proposing to.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, 100%.
And so they've got to do their homework on that client.
Yeah.
They've got to do a bit of research about what the needs and wants are of that client.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That is super important to go in and ask those questions, what is important, and really get to understand the business. So, again, we're not really so much going and pitching our services, but it's really about understanding the client, where their issues are, what the problems are, the objectives that they really want to get out of working with you, and then putting something together that's tailored around that. But with the template, you basically follow 9 headings, and then it's putting that information in there. And for me, in the services that I provide, it's pretty much going to be along those lines of mentoring or content creation. So it's quite easy if you've got, several services that you might offer, just to tailor those to meet the client.
That was Nicole Ashby, founder of Mentoring to Success. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.